Well, John, as I've been here this week, I am just learning about all the amazing things that Crossroads is doing all over the world.
The Lord's been good to us.
Yeah, and it's really impressive, and I guess I just want to learn from you more about what you guys are doing specifically in Ukraine due to the political unrest.
Well, for years we have been involved in various places in the world, and we tend to have a leading of the Lord where there are crisis spots. And for whatever reason, we have relationships and resources and the ability to mobilize quickly.
Yeah.
We went into Ukraine 7 to 8 years ago, really concerned about displaced orphans. In Ukraine, Joy, if a teenager is not helped in their formative years, by the time they graduate out of what we would think high school being, many of those girls that are teenagers will turn to the sex industry, and many of the boys will turn to organized crime. So we found an orphanage there in Lviv that needed help. We had the right partnerships, the right kind of training and resources that could be there in that orphanage. And then we found a group of seminary students who wanted to train for ministry. Your dad's a minister, my dad was in ministry for years. And we found these kids in preparation for ministry, and so we married the orphanage to the seminary students, where every weekend they would come in, they would mentor these kids. We would then have others that would teach them everything, you know, from sewing to craft skills to working metal to lots of different things, so that when they got out, because they're forced out by the government at a certain age of these orphanages, these kids were able to get some training. As we went further into Ukraine and built more and more relationships, we found that we could help with pensioners, elderly people, we could help with widows, and then when the Crimea invasion from Putin and Russia took place, we stepped up once again. Maybe what we could do here is show a little bit of a video as to what we've been up to lately, and then we can come back and talk some more. Take a look at this, our work in Ukraine.
When I visited Ukraine in 2013, it was already a nation struggling with deep poverty and unemployment. Since 2007, Crossroads Relief and Development has been supporting a beautiful outreach program in the nation's state-run orphanages, which are often underfunded, sad, and derelict places. Seminary students have been visiting weekly, providing lessons, snacks, crafts, Bible stories, drama and music, and most importantly, love. I saw firsthand the profound impact it was having on the children.
We've interviewed orphans who have had their lives completely transformed just by love, because they've never had it, and somebody loves them, and it's amazing love. No matter how they behave, it's consistent.
And that love is also shown in meeting practical needs as well, such as building a playground or equipping vocational training programs that will give them a skill when they age out. But even as this program was continuing to make a profound difference, a new concern emerged. The conflict with rebels in Ukraine's troubled east. Knowing the vulnerabilities already facing this nation, Crossroads immediately began preparing whatever we could do to help. The latest UN numbers estimate that more than 1 million people are now displaced within the country, needing immediate relief. Through your giving to 100 Huntley Street, we have been able to supply food, blankets, living supplies, and Bibles to refugees, visiting them even in danger zones to tell them they are not forgotten. On a recent trip, Dave Shelley met this group of people living in deplorable conditions in the basement of their apartment building, 6 kilometers from the front lines, after it was bombed by rebels.
We brought some food down here so that they can keep surviving for another day while they hide from bombs and the fighting.
It's hard to pass this on. You have to be here, feel it, smell it.
Right.
I mean, smoke in the air, damp,
and the tears in the lady's eye that they have to live here. The older woman on the bed. These are the worst of conditions. And if we can bring a little bit of hope, just a little bit of light into dark places.
The days ahead are uncertain for citizens of this nation, but Crossroads is committed to keep doing whatever we can to help. Thank you for all you've done to make a difference for the people of Ukraine.
So, Joy, that gives you a sense of what we're up to in Ukraine, and we're very, very grateful for the opportunity the Lord has given us. And God's opening up other doors for us around the world, in Asia, We're exploring some new things right now. In addition to what we're doing in Asia and Africa, we're exploring Latin America, a few other places where we want to roll up our sleeves and make a difference.
Yeah, it's really incredible. Well, and we have you all to thank for your
That's right.
support through prayers and financial gifts that allow Crossroads to go all over the world and serve people like the people in Ukraine. And so we just want to thank you for that.